This is incredibly concerning. I saw this article from this gentleman named Hooks, and he's talking about an anime that kept popping on my timeline. It's on my to watch list. I understand it was a really good anime last year. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's about a fictional world where you have this evil race. And this evil race of demons are predatory creatures that consume the flesh of the other races from that fictional world, especially humans. And once they devour a human, they take the skin of the human they killed in order to infiltrate society. And so I saw a couple of clips where a mother was scared of her own child, saying that the creature is not her child, the creature killed her child. And then the guards, they refused to execute the demon because it actually looked like a child. And by failing to do so, the demon ended up killing more people. And the anime basically makes it clear that the demons, they're just evil. Like, there's no subtlety about them, there's no redeeming qualities, there's absolutely nothing besides the fact that they're predatory creatures and they use subterfuge and manipulation in order to play the heartstrings of others so that they can evade capture or survive. And there was like this scene where before getting killed, this elf asks a demon, it's like, why do you keep saying mother, mother? And the demon, which looked like a child, said, because this word gets humans to hesitate in killing me. And so, again, it's a fictional universe where the evil characters are just evil. And this elf, she understands that, and so, like, nothing that a demon would say to her would be enough to prevent her from executing it. And the moral is, like, the more you desire coexistence, the more people die by your hands. Like, basically, she made the decision that there is no coexistence. And so my timeline is filled with left-leaning people sparking out. Now, the problem is that I say left-leaning people, but usually, like, they're young Westerners. That's the main problem. Like, you have an entire generation that was absolutely traumatized by woke ideology to the point where when they watch a fiction where you do have an evil race, they are freaking out about it, right? So, like, here you have people saying it's fascismus, right? Like, this is Benito Mussolini's anime. They don't like the character. They call her fascistic. And I understand this, but historically has been a workaround for a lot of racismus in fantasy. So, the fact that these people have broken brains where they cannot appreciate a piece of literature without bringing the real world into it is very concerning, because it means they're going to censor everything that's fun. Like, when they grow up, they're going to become the new censors. Like these chuckleheads, they would probably watch a slasher film with a couple of students going onto a summer camp into the woods, and a killer hacks them. Like, these are the slasher films that I grew up when I was a kid. I personally enjoyed the thrillers aspect of it, like Freddie Mercury, Jason Voorhees. Like, I really love those things. But these assholes will come up and they will say, well, why would you want to watch children getting slaughtered? Because, like, they don't make the difference between teenagers and 5-year-olds, right? So, like, if you watch Jason Voorhees, where you have, like, a couple of teenagers going into the woods at the lake, right? And because they're 17, 16, they were called them children. And because Jason Voorhees is the serial killer, they'll be like, why do you like watching children getting slaughtered? And it's like, I don't know how to make the fucking argument. It's just like, it's a nice movie. I like seeing it. I like the jump scares. I like the tension, the music, the sound effects. I want to see how the teenagers manage to outsmart the criminal. That's why I watch it. But they will just say, no, it's psychotic. Why would you watch something like that? Because they cannot differentiate the fictional aspect from the real world. Like, they will think that any type of entertainment is a Rorschach test. Like, if you don't like watching something that has gay people in it, you're a homophobe. If you want to watch a Polish fantasy like The Witcher and you don't like if they force black people in it, you're racist. Right? Like, they try to cast moral judgment based on the media that you consume. And this is very concerning because I think their brains are broken. Like, I've never seen such a generation before where their ability to say, okay, well, this is fictional. Obviously, it doesn't try to say anything about the real world. The author is just creating this fantasy place where people, can enjoy a story. No, like, it must be connected to some real events. It must be connected to reality. And so, in this particular reason, you notice that Dungeons and Dragons tries to placate to these assholes as well. It's like by removing orcs as the evil race, by removing goblins as the evil race. Goblin Slayer triggered them as well. Because again, like in that, the goblins are evil. And like they just cannot comprehend that there can be a fiction where you actually do have an evil race without trying to make some political commentary on humanity. Now, the reason they don't like this is the simple fact that by casting absolute moral judgments, by saying that pure good and pure evil exists, it means that there's a hierarchy, and this just breaks their brain. It breaks like everything they learned about life from school, from university, from other places. And so like their entire reality would crumble, and they have to fight against this. I guess like the only evil races that are allowed to exist in fiction are, number one, Nazis. Right? So, like, if you have Nazis, it's almost like they're not human. Like, you can do literally anything to them. You can torture them. You can genocide. Like, whatever. Right? Like, if you have an anime where the hero is fighting Nazis, anything goes. Right? But besides Nazis, maybe, like, robots and AI, like, maybe that is possible. But if you have, like, a type of humanoid fictional race, like orcs, like elves, like anything like that, no, it's not allowed. In fact, it doesn't even have to be humanoid. Like there's, a lot of leftists that love bugs from Starship Troopers. Like they're the bugmen. Like they support the bugs against humanity, right? It is concerning, right? Like it's concerning, and it's probably going to take 1 or 2 generations to wash away the retardness. I do think that once these people manage to get jobs at various companies, like they're going to start censoring the living shit out of storylines and out of fiction. And it will take another generation of just bland, boring, sanitized stories until hopefully their kids are going to end up despising their parents to the point where they're going to try to be edgy and they're going to try to push boundaries the same way that I did in the 90s while listening to goth, to death metal, to South Park, to all of the vile stuff that, the generation of my parents despised and disliked. But when this generation manages to start creating stuff, like you're actually going to see, great works of art again and stuff that's entertaining and interesting to watch, because you cannot create entertainment when you're chained like this, and you have like people that try to look into absolutely everything that is being created because everything must have a message. Like it just can't be for the sake of being entertaining. Let me know what you guys think though, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.